Well, folks, I hope you don't have any summer air travel planned. Donald Trump and one of his most lecherous barnacles just unveiled a new plan that will cause chaos and gridlock at airports this summer and for the foreseeable future. If you thought TSA employees walking out and leaving massive lines was bad, if you thought the failure of Spirit Airlines was a bad sign, think of all the possums that need to find a new home. If you thought all of that was bad, get ready for this mess. And have an air sick bag and some jock itch spray on hand. You'll know when you need them both. That story coming up next here on The David Reddish Show. Welcome, beautiful viewers, and thank you for joining me. I am your host, and if you haven't yet, please subscribe to our channel now. And before I begin, thank you to all of you who complimented us on this beautiful new mid-century modern bookshelf we added to our set. If you are interested in one for your show, or your home, follow the link in the description to Sunbeam Vintage. They ship. But okay, let's get into this depressing story. Or is that decompressing? Either works. And already I digress. The Trump administration continues its war on immigrants and Americans who don't like masked stormtroopers kidnapping people out of their homes or on the streets. Since the departure of Mar-a-Lago-faced spokesmodel Kristi Noem and her replacement at the Department of Homeland Security by used jockstrap Markwayne Mullin, however, things have been a little less chaotic. On the other hand, just 1 week ago, Mullin began hinting of a new anti-immigration plan designed to target Democrat-led cities, or so-called sanctuary cities. Take a look.
At today's presidential cabinet meeting, the new Secretary of Homeland Security excoriated those who protested outside an ICE detention facility recently in New Jersey, alluding to the local sanctuary laws.
The local police literally refusing to respond.
Now DHS Secretary Markwayne Mullin says he has a new way to force cities to cooperate with immigration and customs enforcement.
Some of these cities have international airports. If they're a sanctuary city, should they really be processing customs into their city? And we're asking them to partner with us at the airport, but once they walk out of the airport, they're not going to enforce immigration policy.
So you're saying that big cities that are sanctuary cities that have a big airport, they might lose their customs?
Well, I'm saying we're going to have to start prioritizing things.
According to The Atlantic, Mullin has moved forward with the plan, having privately met with some airline and travel executives where he suggested customs operations would be cut back or eliminated at airports such as LAX.
So, in sum, Mullin hinted that he's willing to block flights landing at international airports of certain cities, ostensibly to stop immigration. Of course, someone oozing SDE like Mullin, a man who almost got in a fist fight on the floor of the Senate, and again, if you don't know what SDE is, it's the opposite of BDE, doesn't have the foresight to realize the damage such a policy would cause. But it's just bluster, right? Not so fast, folks. Appearing this morning on Fox News, Mullin, in all his stinking, rotting, old jock-strapping shame, Mullin appeared on Fox and revealed his official plan. And folks, it ain't pretty. Take a look.
Mr. Secretary, you just bring me to the next topic, is that you presented this yesterday.
Right.
You're drawing up plans to halt international flights to anywhere there's sanctuary cities, Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. So no more international flights to those airports?
No, I wouldn't say all of them. I'm saying when we have situations, what's happening in New Jersey right now, when we have to prioritize where we put federal employees because local law enforcement won't help protect their streets, not federal streets, city streets, and keep them from barricading and causing harm to our employees, then we have to decide where we're going to prioritize our federal employees. So we're not going to halt the flights. What we're saying is we just won't be able to process them because we don't have officers there. We're having to pull out our Customs and Border Patrol officers that process these flights and put them in these facilities to help protect our employees coming out of work. By the way, and that's not their job. Their job is to do just what they said, Customs and Border Protection. However, since local law enforcement isn't able to do their job because they said, quote, they don't have the resources, well, we have to prioritize our resources as well. And if they're not there processing international flights, then those individuals, when the airlines land, they won't be permitted into the United States.
So that's Newark, and there's an airport in Newark. Do you see you having to take resources immediately, and that could And
if things, yeah, that's right, Brian. If things don't change, we're going to have to make this step pretty quick, because I'm not going to put my employees and my ICE agents at risk going to and from this, simply doing the job. By the way, they're doing the job and enforcing the laws that are statutory. If Congress wants to change those, if these left radical Democrats want to change it, they have the authority to change it.
Mullen wants the public to know he would never block flights from landing. He just won't staff customs to process anyone. Which begs a question or two. Does Secretary worn-out jockstrap realize losing customs would also bar Americans from returning home from abroad, and that it would also stop import of international goods? Everything from computer chips to produce to cars. Does he not know the damage that would result to the entire American economy from such an act? And if flights are able to land, doesn't he realize that airports would become refugee zones with people stuck and unable to leave? Doesn't he know that goods would pile up on the runway so flights would not be able to leave either? Is glass masculinity Mullen really this stupid? Or do you think he's just following orders from President Dementia and his Spectrum Nazi vampire advisor Stephen Miller? And do they not realize Trump's approval ratings are already in the sewer? These people do not know what they are doing. It's like Looney Tunes, where Wile E. Coyote looks down the barrel of a shotgun to take aim and ends up blowing up himself in the process. So, my advice, between the cost of airline tickets and Mullen's stupidity, maybe think twice about an international vacation. Oh, and by the way, the S in SDE traditionally stands for small, but in Mullen's case, it could also stand for stupid. This is the David Reddish Show.